What if you could grow high-protein food right in your backyard, fresh, organic, and way cheaper than store-bought? Today, I'm sharing my top 7 easy vegetables that pack serious plant-based protein. Even if you're a total beginner, you can grow these. Let's dive in. Coming in at number 7, Brussels sprouts. Now, I know these aren't everyone's favorite on the dinner table, but hear me out. Fresh Brussels sprouts from your garden taste completely different from store-bought, sweeter, nuttier, and less bitter. Plus, they pack about 3 grams of protein per cup, along with tons of vitamin C and fiber. Brussels sprouts are a cool season crop, which means you'll want to plant them in early spring or late summer for a fall harvest. They love full sun at least 6 hours a day, and they need rich, well-draining soil with plenty of compost mixed in. Space your plants about 18 to 24 inches apart. They grow tall, so make sure to stake them if you live in a windy area. Water consistently, keeping the soil moist but not waterlogged. The biggest beginner mistake: planting them too late in spring. They don't like hot weather, so timing is everything. From transplant to harvest, you're looking at about 90 to 120 days. Here's a pro tip: Brussels sprouts actually taste sweeter after a light frost. The cold converts their starches to sugars, so if you're growing them in fall, wait until after the first frost to harvest. Trust me, it makes all the difference. You'll be amazed how rewarding this one is to grow. At number 6, we have broccoli. Broccoli is one of my all-time favorite garden vegetables. It gives you about 3 grams of protein per cup, and it's absolutely loaded with vitamins K and C. Fresh garden broccoli is tender, sweet, and nothing like the rubbery stuff you sometimes get at the store. Like Brussels sprouts, broccoli is a cool season crop, planted in early spring for a late spring harvest or in late summer for a fall harvest. Broccoli needs full sun and rich, fertile soil with a slightly acidic to neutral pH. Space your transplants about 18 inches apart. They need consistent moisture, so water deeply at the base of the plants, not overhead, which can cause disease. Mulch around your plants to keep the soil cool and retain moisture. The biggest mistake beginners make is waiting too long to harvest. Once the buds on the head start to separate or show yellow flowers, you've waited too long. Cut the main head when it's tight and deep green at about 6 to 8 inches across. Use a sharp knife and cut at a 45-degree angle. Here's the best part: after you harvest the main head, don't pull up the plant. Keep watering and fertilizing, and you'll get delicious side shoots for weeks afterward. Each side shoot is like a mini broccoli head. From transplant to main harvest, you're looking at about 60 to 90 days, so satisfying to grow. Coming in at number 5, spinach. Spinach is an absolute powerhouse. When cooked, you're getting about 5 grams of protein per cup, plus it's loaded with iron, calcium, and vitamins A and K, and the best part, it's one of the easiest, fastest vegetables you can grow. Spinach is another cool season lover. Planted in early spring as soon as you can work the soil, or in late summer for a fall crop. It can even survive light frosts, which actually makes the leaves sweeter. Spinach loves full sun in cooler weather but appreciates some afternoon shade in warmer areas. It's not picky about soil, but it does best in rich, well-draining ground with plenty of nitrogen. You can direct sow spinach seeds about half an inch deep and 1 to 2 inches apart in rows. Once they sprout, thin them to about 4 to 6 inches apart, or just scatter seeds in a wide bed and thin as you harvest. That's what I do. The biggest beginner mistake is planting too late in spring. Once temperatures consistently hit 75 to 80 degrees, spinach will bolt, meaning it'll send up a flower stalk and turn bitter, so timing really matters. From seed to first harvest is only about 40 to 50 days. Harvest by picking the outer leaves and letting the center keep growing. You can keep harvesting this way for weeks. Pro tip: plant a new row every 2 weeks during cool weather and you'll have fresh spinach all season long. It's so easy and so worth it. At number 4, we have snap beans, also known as green beans or string beans. Snap beans give you about 2 grams of protein per cup, plus fiber, vitamins, and minerals. They're sweet, crunchy, and one of the most satisfying vegetables to harvest. And honestly, they're almost foolproof. Beans are warm season crops. Wait until after your last frost date and the soil has warmed to at least 60 degrees before planting. They love full sun and well-draining soil. You don't even need super rich soil, beans actually fix their own nitrogen from the air. You can choose between bush beans, which are compact and don't need support, or pole beans, which climb and produce over a longer period. I like growing both. Plant seeds about 1 inch deep and 3 to 4 inches apart. Beans germinate quickly, usually within a week, and they grow fast. Keep the soil evenly moist but not soggy. Overwatering can cause the seeds to rot before they sprout. The biggest mistake beginners make is not harvesting often enough. Once beans start producing, you need to pick them every 2 to 3 days. If you let the pods get too mature, the plant will stop making new beans. Keep picking and the plant will keep producing. From seed to first harvest is about 50 to 60 days. And here's the thing, a small 10-foot row can give you fresh beans all summer if you harvest regularly. Snap beans are incredibly easy, incredibly reliable, and kids love picking them. A total backyard winner. Now we're getting serious. At number 3, lentils. Okay, I'll admit lentils aren't the most common backyard crop, but here, why they should be. Cooked lentils deliver a massive 18 grams of protein per cup. That's more than any other vegetable on this list. Plus, they're packed with fiber, iron, and folate. Lentils are a cool season legume. Plant them in early spring as soon as you can work the soil, even before your last frost. They can handle a light freeze. They need full sun and well-draining soil. Like other legumes, they don't need much fertilizer because they fix their own nitrogen. Scatter seeds about 1 inch deep and 1 to 2 inches apart, or plant in rows. Lentil plants are delicate and beautiful with ferny foliage and tiny white or purple flowers. They grow to about 16 to 20 inches tall. Water moderately during growth, but once they start flowering, cut back. Too much water during pod formation can cause disease. Lentils are pretty low maintenance overall. The biggest beginner mistake is harvesting too early. You want to wait until the pods have dried completely on the plant and turned brown. The seeds inside should be hard. This usually takes 90 to 110 days from planting. Here's the process. Pull up or cut the entire plant once the pods are dry, then lay them out to finish drying for another week or 2. Then you can shell the pods by hand or put them in a bag and roll over them to release the seeds. Growing lentils does take patience, but you'll get a great yield from a small space, and dried lentils store for years. If you want serious protein from your garden, lentils are the way to go. Coming in at an impressive number 2, green peas. Fresh garden peas are like candy. Seriously, they're so sweet and tender that you'll eat half of them before you even make it back to the kitchen. And they pack 8 grams of protein per cup, along with tons of vitamin C, vitamin K, and fiber. Peas are a cool season crop, and they actually prefer cold weather. You can plant them very early, as much as 6 weeks before your last frost date. They can handle freezing temperatures when they're young. In fact, they need cool weather to thrive. Peas love full sun and well-draining soil. You can grow shelling peas, snap peas, or snow peas. They all grow the same way. Plant seeds about 1 to 2 inches deep and 2 inches apart right along a trellis or support system. Peas are climbers and they need something to grab onto. Keep the soil evenly moist, especially during flowering and pod development. Peas don't need much fertilizer. Remember, they're legumes and they fix their own nitrogen. The biggest mistake beginners make is planting too late in spring. Once temperatures get into the 70s and 80s consistently, peas stop producing and the vines die back, so get them in the ground early. From seed to harvest is about 60 to 70 days. Pick shelling peas when the pods are plump and full. Pick snap peas when the pods are rounded and before the peas inside get too large. Pick snow peas when the pods are still flat. Here's a bonus: you can also harvest and eat pea shoots, the young, tender tips of the vines. They're delicious in salads and stir-fries, and they're loaded with nutrients. Peas are fun, productive, and perfect for beginners. You'll love growing them. And the number 1 high-protein vegetable you can grow in your backyard is edamame. Edamame, which is just the fancy name for young soybeans, is the ultimate protein champion. 1 cup of edamame gives you a whopping 17 grams of complete protein. That's as much as you'd get from 2.5 eggs or 2 ounces of chicken. And it's a complete protein, meaning it has all 9 essential amino acids your body needs. Beyond protein, edamame is loaded with fiber, healthy fats, iron, calcium, and vitamins. It's a nutritional powerhouse and it tastes amazing, slightly sweet, nutty, and so satisfying. Edamame is a warm season crop. Plant seeds after your last frost when the soil has warmed to at least 60 degrees. Edamame loves full sun and well-draining soil. Like other legumes, it doesn't need a lot of fertilizer. Plant seeds about 1 to 1.5 inches deep and 3 to 4 inches apart. Edamame plants grow bushy, about 2 to 3 feet tall, and they don't need staking. They're actually quite attractive in the garden. Water regularly and keep the soil evenly moist, especially during flowering and pod development. Edamame is pretty low maintenance. Watch for the same pests that bother other beans like aphids or bean beetles, but they're generally easy to manage. The biggest beginner mistake is harvesting too early or too late. You want to pick edamame when the pods are plump and full but still bright green. If they start to yellow, you've waited too long and they'll be tough. From seed to harvest is about 75 to 90 days. When you harvest, just pull or snip the entire pod off the plant. You'll typically get 2 to 3 pickings from each plant. To enjoy them, just steam or boil the pods for about 5 minutes, sprinkle with a little sea salt, and pop the beans out of the pods. They're an incredible snack or side dish. If you want maximum protein from your garden, edamame is hands down the best choice. It's easy to grow, super productive, and absolutely delicious. This is my top pick. Quick bonus tip before we wrap up: if you're just starting out, don't feel like you need to grow all 7 of these at once. Start with just 2 or 3 this season. My favorites for beginners are peas, beans, and spinach. They grow fast, they're forgiving of mistakes, and they'll give you that confidence boost you need to keep going. Once you've got those down, you can expand. Gardening is a journey, not a race. Start small, learn as you go, and enjoy the process. There you have it, 7 delicious, protein-packed vegetables you can grow yourself and enjoy all season long. Which one are you most excited to plant? Let me know in the comments below. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Plantify Daily for more daily gardening tips, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a video. Thanks so much for watching. Happy growing, and I'll see you tomorrow.